Hello again, everyone. I'm here with a little unboxing from Endless Pens. So I've obviously already taken everything out of the larger box, but I've left the couple of bottles of ink that I have and the pen in the box. So I got these Manio inks for quite a deal on Endless Pens. These are a couple of colors that I had been wanting to get for a while. This is Ume and this is Yomagi. Normally these inks are, they run about $25, and I think I got them for $16 a piece on Endless Pens. And then this Opus 88 was part of a Hop Drop deal. I forget how these boxes open. I think it's just the front. And so with the Hop Drop deal, it was about $60 for this pen. So that was quite the deal. And I decided to go ahead and get a gray, since I already had a couple of demo pens from them. And I feel like the Opus 88 is so versatile that having three separate ones is not really an issue because like I said, there's so much usefulness with them. And and someone mentioned this in one of the comments for one of my testing of a prior Opus 88. They mentioned that you could put a Pilot Parallel nib into this, just replace this nib unit. You would take it out and then you would take out the little plastic ring that is in there, and then you could just push down in the Pilot Parallel nib, which is a calligraphy nib. I may do that at some point. That was actually my thought when I got this originally, and now that I have it, I'm like, I don't know, maybe not. But it has a lot of usefulness and it holds a ton of ink. I got the extra fine nib this time because I don't have an extra fine nib in an Opus 88. So I thought I would try that out. I think I might end up just dip testing this pen today because I have not decided what I want to fill it with yet, or whether I do want to do that nib swap with the Pilot Parallel pen. I actually do have a full set of Pilot Parallels. So, and I would also have to decide which of the nibs I want to use. But the gray is such a pretty color. By the time I got to the listing in Hop Drop, the multicolored one, which is one I was also thinking of, was already sold out, so that was out of the running. And I had already been thinking about getting this gray from before, so I pulled the trigger on this one. But you can kind of still see through to where the ink would be, and it's sort of like a semi-demo pen. All right, so let's put that there. But what I will do is let's go ahead. Actually, let me go ahead and leave that dropper in the container. I actually probably have enough droppers elsewhere that I don't really need to keep that out of the box at this point. I'm going to put that box away. I am going to test these inks for you, and then I'm going to dip test the pen in one of those inks. So let's go ahead and get my little ink swatch book out here. And I will put a link down below to the video where I go through this setup. And let's go ahead. Looks like we have all my other prior pages have been used up. A couple of new inks that I'll just show you real quickly here. This I did an unboxing of this sepia ink from Kobe. Here's a full big swatch of it. I'll go ahead and put that up to the camera. And then I've also gotten the J. Herbin Vert and Atlantide. And actually when I bought this ink I didn't know it had shimmer in it, but it does. It has like a very slight silvery shimmer, which doesn't come off too well when you write with it, but it's a beautiful colored ink. And I actually put it in a pen that I eyedropper converted, and it's working great. So let's see, I think that for the most part you've seen, and I think you might not have seen the Sailor 280. That was also a recent acquisition that I did not put in here. And I haven't put that ink in any pens yet, so maybe I should decide which pen I want to put it in. All right, so that's just a look into some of the more recent things. And then of course I did the Diamine Guitar Series inks. I've since found out that there is actually a blue ink that went with these. The blue ink was sold out everywhere, so I didn't end up getting the ink. So there was one blue ink for a guitar color, and then these. I've since tried the Cherry Sunburst, and it's actually a really beautiful color in a pen. Okay, let me get arranged here. going to get my water so that I can rinse out my automatic pen. I've actually been leaving these out on my desktop, and I've been using this little guy. This, it's actually not a glass pen, it's a plastic pen, but it's in the style of a glass pen. And I think this is Moon Man. And I've been using this just because it's a lot easier to have at my desk than the glass pen that I normally use. So let's go ahead and use these. So I have some water here off to the side. I have my shop towel, which I've been using to death. It's still the same shop towel probably as the last time you saw it. So I'm going to keep that off to the side here. And let's go ahead and open these up. So this is the Ume color, which is a really beautiful deep red. I've really been falling in love with deep reds. And I probably would not have gotten, I mean, I really like this color, but I probably wouldn't have gotten more Manyo inks if they hadn't been so on sale at Endless Pens. I was actually really surprised at how cheap they were. And then this is the Yomagi. The Yomagi is really beautiful as well. I might have eventually gotten this one even at full price, but, and maybe even the Ume, who knows? But let's go ahead and try that. I'm gonna do the Ume first. Let's get these boxes out of the way. So I have some really dirty water over here that I've been watercoloring with, but it will work as long as you don't go the other way. As long as you don't use water that you've used with fountain pen ink for watercolor, you should be okay. There's some different chemicals in fountain pen ink that might interfere with your watercolor. Okay, let's go ahead and open that up and look at that. That is a lovely, lovely deep red. Okay. So let's go ahead and start with the automatic pen. Oh, that's beautiful. I really like that. That is actually the color, exactly the color I was looking for. Okay, so I'm going to rinse the automatic pen off, dry it off with my towel. Okay. And let's go on to the glass dip pen, or the plastic dip pen, as the case may be. All right. It's not as smooth as the glass pen is, but it's okay. So this is Sailor Manyo Ume. Okay, lovely. It seems like it might be a fairly staining ink, because it seems to have clung to this pen. Okay, I think I got most of that out there. Let's go ahead and close that up. That is beautiful. So Ume is a like Ume plums that you would get. They have Ume plums is often in sushi. You can get packages of Ume plums at like a health food store or something. It's actually quite delicious, but it's usually pickled. And that is probably a little redder than what I've seen from Ume. Oh, and this is lovely. Look at that Yomagi. So beautiful. Okay. Let's go ahead and dip that automatic pen. Oh, that is so pretty. That's like one of those pretty reds, or reds. I was looking up at the red while I was talking. One of the most pretty blues. I actually made it a very big swatch because I got very excited about it. All right, that is lovely. Okay, I'm going to rinse that out. I kind of wonder if this would be staining as well because it is so dark. Okay, rinsing that out of my pen. And I'm actually going to put that pen back where it was. It's also kind of the convenience of having it here on the desk. I can just put it back really easily. Oh, this is beautiful. I think I'm going to dip test with this one. Oh, and it looks like there was a little gap there. So this is Sailor Manyo Yomagi. That is beautiful. Well, I'm really happy with those two inks. And I've gotten quite a few deep reds lately, but you can see compared to Urushi Red by Franklin Christoph, it's much deeper. And the mulled wine, it's also much deeper than the mulled wine. And where's my James Dean Red? There we go. That's more like a true red, whereas this one is just super deep and beautiful. Okay, so I'll close this up for the time being. I am gonna put those up to the camera, those beautiful, beautiful inks. I would recommend both of these actually. And you can see that there's a little bit of sheen to the ume. It looks like it has a little bit of greenish yellow sheen there that's coming out. And it looks like Yomagi also has a little bit of sheen. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I actually love the combination of those two. They look really nice together. Okay, so I'm going to put that off to the side here. And then I'm going to get out my fountain pen testing book, which is in this Galen leather notebook. And then let's go ahead and find a page. Actually, let's go ahead and put it on the same page as this TWSBI Eco Smoke Rose Gold. Let's get in there a little bit so you can see. Okay, and I'm going to open this one back up. And then I'm going to go ahead and dip the pen just lightly. So this is an Opus 88. Yes, and it's very fine. It's a little scratchy, I would say. So this is an Opus 88. Oh, what? Oh, I'm not even sure what model it is. With extra fine nib. And let's do another little dip because I think we ran out there. It's a little scratchy on the page. You can hear. It might be a little less scratchy if it is going through the pen, just because it seems to the pen itself seems to have a pretty wet flow. But that is actually really beautiful. I think I did a little too much on the second dip because now I have plenty left. Oh, and let's go ahead and say that this is the gray color. Okay, and there you go. So now it'll take me a little while to get the excess ink out of that nib, so I'm going to set that aside and clean that up a little bit more off camera. But there you go. That is the extra fine Opus 88 nib and this beautiful Yomagi ink. And I'm going to bring the inks back, actually, because they've been drying here. Things dry so fast in my environment. You can see both of them are, this one on top is completely dry, and this one's getting there. And you can really see some nice reddish sheen there around some of the edges of the splotches. Beautiful. Okay, well that's it. That's all I had for you today. Feel free to subscribe to keep track of future videos. Oh, actually, let me bring this up to the camera real quick so you can see the quality of the line. And if you ring the little bell, you will be reminded whenever I post a new video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. I hope to see you next time, but in the meantime, have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.